Hello. It's time for another episode of Miraculous. Hello, it's your friendly friend Gale here with another episode of the Miraculous React series. Woo! Claps, claps, Gales all around. So today we're watching Crocoduel, an episode that describes itself as, because of a plan thought up by Marinette, Shadow Moth akumatizes two villains. Ladybug and Cat Noir will need help to stop the evil duo. And that's a pretty vague description, but it gives me two huge hints. One, the name Crocoduel, or duel, or I don't know if it's supposed to be duel as in like dual wielding, but it's spelled duel as in to fight each other. So anything with crocodiles has to do with jagged stone. And the fact that it says that they'll need help to stop this evil villain leads me to believe this is going to be the introduction of Juleka as the tiger-wielding Miraculous holder, and that's been something that's been known for like a while. I think it was her, and then at least I believe Million as the mouse was also something that was confirmed early by the show creators, and so yeah, kind of a spoiler. That we already know that, but I don't know anything else about it, so it'll be interesting. But that's my guess. My guess is that this is the introduction of her as this character. It's gonna have something to do with Jagged Stone as a parent, and probably the other person, my guess, is her mom. Because, I don't know, like, the whole thing with Jagged Stone now being introduced as her father, that's just where it leads me to go. It's just they've already gone through and been like, Luca knows, he's had a talk with his dad about it, he's reappeared in other episodes for, like, talking about this relationship, they haven't just let it go. So my assumption is if they're bringing him back, it probably has something to do with this, and then, Juleka's the only classmate I can think of off the top of my head other than Ivan, and Nathaniel, who hasn't been given, and Sabrina. Okay, now I'm thinking of more, but basically she's one of the few that hasn't had a Miraculous yet, and she's one that has been confirmed to have a Miraculous. It all just works together. I'm pretty confident in my guess this time. So yeah, we're going to, at least I hope it's fun. I mean, you know how I feel about these ones where they introduce a whole new Miraculous holder. I'm not thrilled with them. I kind of don't like that concept because they don't do anything with it other than, like, they're just starting to use Alia in a way they should have used her several episodes ago. Like, last season, they should have been really putting forward this level of Alia, influence into the show if she was going to get a Miraculous. So the fact that there's like 20 other kids or whatever running around with jewelry, like, that they know they can have superpowers to or whatever, it's stupid. I think it's a really stupid concept, but that being said, I'm going to go into this with a positive mindset. I want to give this the best shot it's got, plus out of all the characters, Juleka just looks the coolest. So maybe her superhero outfit will also be the coolest outfit. I don't know, but that's all I'm hoping for. Really, like, I got such a low bar. I have such a low bar for this episode. So, let's watch this episode and see if it can clear the low bar I have placed for it. So I had a pretty low bar for Crocoduel. I think we just discussed that like a minute ago in your time. And, I guess it cleared the low bar, but not by much. So, Purple Tigress, as she is called, was indeed the, surprise hero of the episode. It was Juleka in the Tigress form. And her outfit is fantastic. Absolutely love it. It's so good. It's colorful, but it's fun, and her hair's Juleka's hair is just awesome all the time. So, yes, Purple Tigress was great. Everything else about that episode was kind of a little bit stupid, but like, kind of in just the average boring way, not in anything funny like Simple Man, where everything was like over the top stupid, and you just could laugh at it. This is just normal, kind of boring, stupid. Marinette's having an argument with, not in an argument, but she's feeling awkward about talking with Luca again after their breakup. which is, I guess, places this earlier than a couple of episodes I've done before because they've talked since then. But yeah, so she was feeling nervous about talking to Luca since they had their breakup, and everybody else is trying to push it, which is not the healthy way to deal with things. You know, I had 2 friends who dated each other, and then they broke up, and they tried to force being friends too quickly, and it just didn't work out. Like, that became a rough spot because they were just forcing themselves to not have time to really work through the end of their relationship. So this is kind of like, just from experience, I've seen that doesn't work too well. So to see the show kind of be like, oh, you just gotta deal with it, you know, heartbreak's fine, you know, it's whatever. I understand in the context of this show why that's it, but still, it was kind of like, not the most healthy way to help your friend Alia, but I guess, sure, let's go with it. So that's A plot, and then there's B plot, which is Juleka trying to find her voice, and then there's C plot, which is Jagged Stone and Anita, their mom. I think her name's Anita. It's kind of hard to tell. God rays? No God rays. God rays? No God rays. No God rays. Oh. Sorry, we're gonna finish the review in this perspective because a whole bunch of light just started streaming into my room, and it's causing God rays to appear on the screen. It's still there. It's still there. Like, there, I'm covering it. It's still there, so I'm just gonna hold my hand out. Oh, what an efficient setup. So yeah, the part 3 is Jagged and their mom's relationship, trying to deal with that. And it's, all of them are not very big plot lines, so there's nothing really complex. They don't go into why did Jagged leave, you know, the family, or did he know about his kids, or whatever. It was just kind of like, oh, you know, I cared about our music and you only cared about yourself, and blah blah blah. So nothing interesting in that, like no interesting developments of, you know, did he cheat or any, like, nothing serious. And they didn't even make new Akuma forms for them. It was just the same previous 2 forms that they both had. So it was just those flying in the air, which made it really funny when both Cat Noir and Ladybug were like, oh, if only we could fly. And I was like, yes, Astrobug and Cosmocat, right? That's the names for them. I wouldn't know because we've never seen them like actually applied into an episode. They've just kind of been there for like 2 seconds each. But yes, they do have flying powers. They could easily use them. And they have no reason to use Purple Tigress because her power is literally just punching things really hard. Or at least that's all it looked like. If there was a special ability to it, I don't know. Because it literally just looked like she punched the ship really hard and it blasted back, and that was the extent of her use. So she was absolutely useless. Like, awesome costume. Best superhero persona other than Ladybug in my book. Or, you know, Ladybug and Cat Noir in my book. But, God, was she pointless in this episode. I get that it was her parents, but really, it was like, Cat Noir could have just, you know, both of them fly up there in their alternate forms and then take the record and then come back down. It really wasn't all that hard. It wasn't all that complicated. And yeah, the specifics of her power had no point. In fact, her power is not very specific at all. So yeah, overall, like, I haven't talked much. I feel like I haven't talked about anything about this episode, and yet I've talked about so much about this episode just because it's so... It was just a boring kind of like by the numbers. Oh, let's have evil villains that have to do with the character so that we could get that character Miraculous, and then when we get that character Miraculous, they could, you know, do stuff, and then Hawkmoth, you know, Shadowmoth's like whatever. But they did have a really pretty funny bit where the Akuma came for Luca first, then went to Jaleka, and then it went for the students, and they were all, Shadow Moss like, yes! These teens, they're all gonna hate each other, it's all gonna be aggressive and angry, and then they're like, oh, but we love you, and I'm sorry, I apologize, I forgive you, you know, and it's just like, oh, okay, the teenagers are acting responsible and, you know, helping each other out. So yeah, overall, this episode was just kind of boring. I mean, if you're interested in the Marinette Luca love story, then I guess it's another piece of that puzzle, but overall, it was just kind of an average episode that had no real substance and no reason to exist. Didn't even have a real reason to use Purple Tigress, so it just was an episode to show off a cool costume. Oh, and also for all the kids to realize that Jagged Stone's Luca and Jaleka's dad now. But that's it, like, it just wasn't a super important episode, it wasn't a super fun episode, and it wasn't a super interesting episode, but I am 100% for Purple Tigress. Like, if Purple Tigress wants to suddenly be, like, one of the top heroes, and we can get rid of Vesperia altogether, we don't need no Queen Bee, she doesn't need to be there, we could just do Carapace, Rena Rouge, or Rena Spy, whatever her name is, I can't remember right now. You know, Cat Noir, Ladybug, and then Purple Tigress. I'm okay with that team. You know what? screw any bee-themed superhero. Just Purple Tigress. Let's go. That's my team. We'll give her a cooler power later, but for now, I just want to see that costume again. It was just so fun. Alright, so thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode, which is the Marichat episode we've all been waiting for, Glaciator 2. Woo! Woo! Let's go! Hi there, it's the end of the video, my friend. Hit the bell if it was okay, I'm sure I'll make good content someday. I'll play some games or do some drawing, Pokemon and fights with darling, video essays and reviews. I couldn't do it without you, so thanks, like and subscribe.